Hey guys, it's Monday. I'm on another job today and I'm just doing a little check-in. We're having a snap now. It's midday. Just a little, normal start when you go on a new site, not knowing where everything is, sorting everything out. So we got up on these top outs and I'll show you what we're doing. Probably see some headcam next. I'll talk through in the voiceover what I'm doing. But yeah, we'll just see us through till Christmas now, and hopefully I can stay on this job because the bricks are good. So yeah, alright guys, see you in the next one. Hey guys, Harry here, back with another Bricklaying vlog. Before I start, I just want to apologise for the angle of this headcam. I don't know why, but sometimes I think when I shove it in my bag, the angle of it changes. I tighten up the headcam to to get the same sort of angle every time, but it sometimes provides a different result. Today it was looking a little bit offset, so I apologise for a bit of this footage. I've got a time lapse after this, so this is going to be a bit of a long episode because I haven't really uploaded many Bricklaying vlogs for the last week because of weather and that, so I'll make this one an extra long one and I'll sort of elongate my topics out. So yeah, another site today. Another day, another advanced site. So we're on another advanced site today. We're back on normal bricks, thank the Lord. I can't tell you how much easier it is to lay than concrete bricks. After being on concrete bricks for near 4 months, picking up a normal brick is fantastic. Just loading them out is a lot easier. So hopefully I can stay on this job. Steady away as I always am, and it's about 15 minutes from my house. I think it's a PB on the distance wise from my house. So if we can start in the new year, if I can start getting here at 8 and the lighter nights start coming, I can really put some hours in the new year, which I'll just give you guys a little bit of a background here for my YouTube channel, because I know on YouTube you see me. You've seen me putting in hours trying to lay a lot of bricks in a day, but for the majority of my bricklaying life, I never really sort of was too serious about work. I used to always sort of get to site around 8 o'clock and leave about 2. I was never really a sort of, die-hard typical bricklayer. It's only in the recent years since I met the missus, got her pregnant, and now I got his first son, who's now like 2.5. Which I've been almost forced, in a sense, to sort of grow up and work an 8-hour shift, sort of thing, which I rarely do anyway at the moment, because I have a chat with other trades now and again. I have a chat with other bricklayers, and I say, how do you get here at 7 every morning and work till 4, and how do you put in that overall average throughout the week? And I'm one of them people. I just get fed up. Even with a YouTube channel, I get fed up of bricklaying, even making these videos. If I start off working, so I have to sort of really almost trick myself into working longer. So that's why I tend to arrive 8:30ish and I'll work all the way through till 4:30, 5:30 sometimes in summer. So an 8 while 5, or an 8:30 while 5:30 is a 9-hour shift, and that's probably the longest I'll work throughout summer. I won't work any later than that. I don't think I've ever worked any later than 5 or 5:30. So I'm not an early morning person. I'm probably at my worst performance when I first wake up. So it's nice to get there early. It's nice to get there early and think that you're ahead of the day, but it doesn't suit some people. I know it doesn't suit me, so I'm gonna probably continue aiming to arrive on site at that 8 o'clock, 8:30, and I find I'm more productive in them hours. I'm just more productive. So that's a bit of a background. I was never a die-hard worker. I always grafted for when I was here, but I was never obsessed with trying to earn mega money. And I think a big thing a lot of bricklaying channels don't want to admit, and obviously it's only because they've been recently popular, is that we never used to be able to earn that good of money because of the prices. When I started on price, which was from finishing my apprenticeship. So as soon as I finished my apprenticeship at 20 years old, I was, because I started at 17 and I finished at 20. I know now you can finish in 18 months, so you can finish, you know, quicker. You can probably finish by the time you're 19 now. But if you do a 3-year proper apprenticeship, what's considered proper these days, I know guys will say like 6-7 year apprenticeships back in the fucking Stone Age. But you know, if you do a full apprenticeship for 3 years, you'll be about 20 when you come out your time. And you know, I've been on price ever since I came out my time, and the prices were about $340. When I was in my apprenticeship, they were lower. But I know when I came out of my time, my first price I got given when I went on housing on my own, worked out at $340 a thou. That's what I was getting. I know it was around the time where the prices were shifting, so they were going upwards of $370, getting close to $400, and like firms were trying to rip you off and get you to build on old prices, lower prices. And you know, obviously me being young and inexperienced then, I didn't know how to I wasn't privy to counting up drawings or counting up lifts or counting up my measure all the time. I wasn't, you know, I was one of them people who I didn't really excel in any sort of academic sense. So everything I did was actually took extra effort. So if unless you were really, really quick, you know, sort of like a Collison speed, you weren't really earning that much money anyway. If you were laying 1,000 bricks a day at $340, you know, you paid a labourer 80 quid back then was like top money for a labourer. You know, you were probably earning maybe, you know, $250 a day, $1,250 a week, something like that. That was top money. Maybe if you're earning over a grand a week back then when you were on $340 and stuff like that, you were considered like fucking top 1%. Those guys now are earning $2,000, $2,500 because the prices are basically doubled. So, you know, but they're very low percentage, and I don't think anyone on YouTube top speeds like that. Probably apart from probably Charlie and a few other, but I can only see Charlie Collison making it because he has, you know, a good workforce. He gets to work for him at a modest rate. So, you know, that's the only person I can see really making the money that, you know, you could have made back then times. But that's the thing, you know. That's why now all of a sudden, obviously because the prices have increased, bricklayers have started to make these YouTube channels and sort of flex off what they can earn. But you know, it's not always like that. You know, it takes a lot of years, and even then, you know, you've got to cut corners. You've got to be a bit rough to sort of earn maximum money. I know it's not what people want to hear, but you've got to cut a few corners. And I know a bloke, and I've knew blokes over the time who just knew how much they could get away with, just knew how to make it just good enough, and that's how you'll make probably the best money. It's not how you'll become the most skilled and neatest tradesman. It's just how you'll make the most money, just getting it just good enough to where, you know, a gaffer or whoever will come up and have a look and say, it's all right, I suppose, a little bit rough around the edges. You know, they put level up, it's near enough plumb. You know, I think that's if you want to get into bricklaying to make as much money as you can, you got to get it just good enough. And I don't think that's what a lot of people want to hear. But it is the truth. You know, the fastest and the bricklayers who I know will make the most money. Just get it good enough. And it's not something I can succumb to doing. You know, I like to try and make it as neat as I can. But I now understand guys who've been doing it 40 years and have got to the point where they think, oh fuck it, it's just going to be good enough. That's where you'll probably start making a little bit more money than you are when you're a little newer to the trade, or, you know, within your first 15 years where you actually care about your work. But yeah, it is a disappointing thing to think that that's how you'll make most money, not being the best, just by being, you know, getting it good enough. But anyway, first day back on the clay bricks, it took a little bit of an adjustment. I was a bit shocked to how easy it was, because we come up onto this top out, and it seems a few people have dropped a few blobs who've been here before. A few voussoirs haven't been put in. A bit of remedial work needed doing. So there isn't any fascia and soffit, because I think the theory of is the joiner thought, I can't get me, because of these fascia and soffits are all sort of slanted. The brickwork isn't finished up to the panite on some areas, so he didn't bother putting it on. So it's all up here, but no joiners put it on. So I've just been told to build it plumb, so that's what I'm doing. I didn't bring my 6-foot level on this day. I just brought the 4-foot and the 2-foot, so I was just building little corners, running in. And I didn't really get much done. I started laying at about 1 o'clock, and I finished at 3:30 because the light was fading and my eyesight in low light's terrible. So I had to stop and load out. I got about 300 bricks laid. The missus did half a day. A big thing, the missus works for me, she's flexible, like the old man was. He used to do a regular half a day. If we weren't really getting anywhere, he'd just nip off home at dinner. If we weren't really getting anywhere, and he'd leave me till 8 for afternoon, try make me send a bit of money, and then I'd just pay him half a day. And the missus does the same. She either nips home, gets the young'un, or she'll sit in the car and chill out for a couple hours, go off and do a bit of shopping she needs to do, and she'll come back. It just allows us to make make the gang work and make a wage. If for instance, like, it took me about an hour and a half to get the right bricks because forklift driver brought me wrong bricks, and then it's about half an hour induction, and then half an hour unloading gear and getting the tub. So you had all them up together, and you're looking at like 2.5 hours in the morning, and then it was snap time with a good hour snap to, after getting his head round all the job and what we're doing and organising what we had to do. My head bakes a little bit. It's always a little bit stressful first day on a new job, organisation. From the onset, if you're in a big gang, there's always someone doing that organisation for you, but as a one-on-one, you take on full responsibility. So I had to have an extra 15 minutes at snap, gathering my thoughts, and then I went out and just cracked on. But yeah, really nice laying these. As you can see, I did a little bit of footage with the tie tapper. That's what you got to use to tap these helical ties in. There is a screwdriver attachment you can get for them, but they just give us on site. Every site we go on, they give us a knocking device, and we just have to give it back. They're about 60 odd quid to buy, so they're just one of them. You can put them in without. You just got to bend them and smash them in. If you don't have one, it slows you down a little bit, but you can still do it. I'll show you a method to knock them in without the device. You have to bend about 30mm at one end with your foot and then knock it in with an hammer. It's a bit awkward, but I've done it on one cut up before when we didn't have one, so it is doable. But it's always good to get keep hold of one, and like with me, I've been doing a lot of them, so I've got one. And like I said, I've been sent around doing a few of these cut-ups. I don't mind, to be honest. It takes a lot less gear. I only take a couple of boxes up and a couple of levels. And if the fascia and soffits, I don't even need a level. So it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy to do. I've made all right money on these, to be honest. Around day work. As what YouTube considers day work wage, which is probably most people will be lucky to earn £200 a day on price in most of the country, but been able to earn about that on these cut-ups, and the nice stress-free work I find doing top-outs. And if anyone wants to query me on how I do these, sort out this bottom tray, is I have a technique that is probably only useful if you've got a small narrow trowel like I've got. Turns out I was actually putting a few too many ties in these. I only need to put them every 450 and 150 up my reveals, which a couple of people told me, but I was a bit stubborn, and I know that some people, if you get a drawing and the gaffer interprets it different to another drawing, that means you have to fucking roll with what you got told. But on one job we were doing them every 150, and now it's only every 150 up as ends, and every 450 up as middles. So that's why we're doing it every 150 before. So a few less ties tapping on this one made a big difference. Obviously the clay bricks, I was doing one brick pick and dip for a while, but then a lot of these bricks have been soaked. Obviously you guys know the weather, how it's been, so I was going back to long spread, and so yeah, that's what we're doing there. And I'll sort the tray out, like I said. First six or seven course, about 6 course, I'd do just scraping the back of the tray with my trowel. I can easily get my trowel right down, scrape it up and clean it, and then after 6 I'll just slide a bit of 4x1 in and that covers the cavity completely. Gives me about a 10mm wiggle room to get it out, and I'll just keep that in all the way to the top, and I get a little wiggle every night, make sure I loosen everything off, and I wiggle in the morning so I can get it out, and then I just pull it out at the end. Or if I've got space, I'll pull it out every time, at the end of every day. But a little wiggle and a bang, and on the night and in the morning, keep it loose, stop it getting stuck in. You can get it out at the end. Really good way to protect your tray. I do prefer these smart roofs, or whatever you want to call them, spandrel panel roofs. A lot easier than having to fuck about with blockwork and putting your blockwork restraint straps in. They're a ball ache to nail them in. It always knocks your fucking blockwork all over. And then the wind always catches it, so your fucking gables are swaying, both your skins are all over. Much prefer to just tap a few ties in. We don't really get any extra for them. We don't get anything extra for the bottom tray or the ties, which we should do, but you know, we'll see. We'll see in the future if we ever do get out extra for that. It's the same always on a lot of housing. If you are looking to go on price on houses, you'll be just getting whatever you're getting per thou and whatever you're getting per metre blockwork. You don't really get anything else for your sundries like your lintels, window formers, ties, damps, etc. You might get, if you're lucky, you might get 150, 200 quid per lift extra if you're lucky, but a lot of the time you won't. So just expect that. And I know that going on how long I've been in this game, and it's just one thing I just do like, to be honest, scaffold to be fucking somewhat clean booted most of the time, and not grovelling about in shit doing footings, because I've done them. You've seen on YouTube, I've done a few footings, grovelling around on fucking topsoil doing boundary walls. They're good at times, and then at other times you want to just get set up on a scaffold, you know. And I find I can get more organised on houses than I can anywhere else. I find it more, you know, a little less stressful, I think. And I think it's because of the body aspect, you know, it keeps your body a bit fresher. When it comes to these bricks, the finish I was trying to get on them was great. We were using the sponge again. I had a sponging car, got that straight out, made a lovely job of these. These bricks, if you're interested, are very similar to the bricks I used on the garage with big pillars. And if you go back to before I went back on housing, you'll see the garage with big pillars. I think I had back a 6-part series. These are Ibstock Granger antiques, and the ones I used in the garage with big pillars is Granger Autumn. So they're a very similar brick, just a slightly darker version. They're probably not the best to pick and dip, but I only pick and dip mainly now. They're good to do like a front and back tip on, or to put your joint on, but they don't need any grooves in your spread, and they're good doing long bed pick and dip or one brick at a time. These bricks are all soaked, as you can see, but they're still, you know, compared to laying concrete, it's a doddle laying wet clay bricks. You know, I'm gonna reply to my mate Gaz in a minute. He sent us a text asking how it went on them, and they're fucking fantastic. Like, I laid about 300 bricks in 2.5 hours with very little effort. I felt actually like I haven't really done much, but a lot of the time on cut-ups, they're a ball ache to count, because you've got to sort of like count half the cut-up and double it to get, obviously, or, you know, got to count half the cut-up or the full cut-up and half it sort of thing, because it is a 45-degree pyramid. But a lot of the time you can just load out the amount of bricks you need. So we loaded out about 330 bricks and I basically laid all bar about fucking 20 of them. So I know I laid about 300 bricks in about 2.5 hours. And that's how you can sometimes gauge it. If you don't want to, if you're near the top and you don't want to sort of gauge all the way down and then you know count it as a square cut up and then half it. It's a little bit easier. We all have prices for these as well, so it does make it easier. Obviously, you can't always go off the price because you've got to check it's right, but you know, that's the way you can do it. Sort of load out how many bricks you need, use them all, and you know, you can sort of know how many you've laid then. Providing you ain't got to be a massive pile of fucking broken ones. But yeah, they were pretty good. Not much wastage on these either, which I was happy with. Very light, completely fucking game changer. I was able to load out like half a pack in 15 minutes. So and that was, well, that was awkward, you know, awkward, running right around the scaffold. So yeah, very good. I'd love to get back on these full time. If we can find a little space on here for us, get us a fucking, you know, little detached house and fucking a couple of drops would be nice. But it ain't up to me at the end of the day. It's just wherever I can fit in and wherever it's sent. Obviously, one probably downside of being a one-on-one gang, you just do get more of these smaller jobs. You do get a lot of top outs because you know, a lot of the time what you book in will give the subby an idea of what sort of work you'll make money on, or what sort of work you're happy sort of to make money on. So if they'll look at your average booking in and think, well, we'll send them on that cut because that'll cover what they kind of want to earn. Whereas a bigger gang, you have a bigger overall wage bill, so they know, well, that won't really cover the money. They won't really make any money on that. And it's a bit, it is a blessing and a curse at the same time. I've never gone on a site or on any piece of work and not made money, or not made not made more or less day work. And a lot of subbies will look at basically that and realise that you're kind of earning the same every week, or you're kind of covering your money no matter what they've put you on, and they'll just think, oh, we'll just keep, you know, giving them whatever. And it is a downside, it is a blessing and a curse, and I like the fact I can just do anything and make a wage, because I'm not obsessed with making the most amount of money, and I think I should be a little bit more, you know, I should say no to things more, but I like an easy life. I like to just turn up and do my work, earn a decent wage, because whatever I put my hand to, I seem to earn good money. Because of years and just because of perfecting the way I lay and just, you know. But if I probably had the better work, I'd earn a lot more money. So you have to sort of gauge, you know, what you say yes to, what you say no to. But obviously, I've only been with this subby for about 3-4 months, so I haven't really got any right demanding certain types of work. Because if it seems a lot of the time, obviously guys who've worked for a certain firm or a certain, whether it's direct or through a subby for, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, they normally get priority over if you're new. But you know, if it doesn't improve within the first year or so, you know, you normally have to think about moving if you're getting treated badly. But I consider the work I've been on so far to be really quite good, considering where I came from, where I was doing bits of shit all the time, remedials, patching, which I fucking hate. I hate. If this is the one thing I left the old place for, I didn't like doing remedials, even though I used to get paid, you know, a day work for it, which was fair enough. I still didn't like doing it. Whereas here, I've done, in 4 months, I've done 2 days of patching, 3 days of patching max. And on this, the remedials I've got to do on this top out, it'll take me, you know, if I fucking cracked on and did it, probably take me like 3 hour max, maybe 4, depending on how awkward it is. You know, so, you know, it's half a day's patching really, if that, you know. So if I can, you know, 1 day of patching per fucking, less than that, you know. So that's what I'm happy with. You know, I don't care if I'm even earning a bit less sometimes, because I'm not, you know, getting my money made up, which I think, you know, you know, if you get into a situation where you've always got to, you know, always got to turn up and always got to earn your money, you know, you sometimes, you know, some people, they want to get paid no matter what, so you end up doing shit work just to get your money in, whereas I'll just fucking, you know, I just fucking earn my money on price, that's it. So but yeah, so that's sort of the video today, you know, a few different topics, you know, a little outlook on today's video. I'm ready for Christmas. I don't have a lot of motivation every day to go in. I just want to have a bit of a break. But I do. I've enjoyed it today, actually, laying these clay bricks. I tell you what, it's a different. If you've ever laid concrete bricks, I know a lot of guys on YouTube just haven't done it and or flat out refuse to do it. And I've shown on YouTube that it's possible you can make a bit of money You know, not top money by any means, but you can make it work in a gang, and you can see I've made it work, laying 600, 700, 800 nearly of concrete bricks in a day on my own. You know, I've made it work at times. They're not, if you drop on them in the heat of summer, they're not bad. If you're a one-on-one, that's the only time I could recommend them. If you're on your own, one-on-one in summer, any other time you want to be on normal bricks. So yeah, here a little check with level to make sure it will plumb. Yeah, bang on. But yeah, so I'll go through what I'm doing tomorrow. Mrs. is going to stay all day tomorrow. I'm going to make her pretty much loaded out in front. We've got all this gear up, so we should be cracking on. Should be putting trowel to wall by 9 o'clock tomorrow. And I've been doing a little bit of a tactic. This is a tactic. We're quite far from the silo, quite far from the rest of the site. So what I like to do is I try and gauge how many bricks I'm going to lay in a day, and I know on these top outs I can get about 400 bricks down on each peak to table lift, and I know that a tub will do you about 450, 500 if you brim it, if you fucking absolutely cane the knackers off of it. So what I like to do, silo gear can vary from day to day because of the weather. I'd say it was very humid, very wet, and it kept green all day. But what I'll do tomorrow, because I'll be laying from the get go, what I like to do is I get the tub out piss wet at the bottom, absolutely piss wet, and then I'm trying to get it stiffened up towards the top. This silo doesn't seem to be playing ball with me because it just came out wet to start with, and I couldn't stiffen it up. I couldn't do anything with it, so I'll just probably let it come out how it comes out, and I'll just do some traditional in the morning. I'll just lay my long spread all the way through, and the one thing obviously with clay bricks, if it comes out wet, you can just lay a long spread all the way through, and it goes a bit dry on the bricks, and you can get a good finish. So I'll just do a front and back tip, which is sometimes just as quick as pick and dip in the right conditions, and I'll do that in the morning, and then when it starts stiffening up in the afternoon after snap, I'll lay the remainder of it pick and dip one at a time or long spread depending on how it goes. But it depends how you load out. Probably one brick pick and dip with a lack of space I've got on the other one. It's a cheeky 3-board on the other cut up at the other side. So this top out has 3 cut ups, like 2 big ones and a smaller one. So they're not bad. They're not as big as the other ones I was on, but they're just a nice size for when you're on your own. So quite good. I'll be doing, because there's no fascia soffits, I'm not going to be running it. I'll be doing big corners with 6 foot level. I know looking at Richard Fitzgerald's video about it's better to put one on and run it than build a corner, more bricks laid to the line, which I'm going to test out if I can do that. If I can put one and run it and just plumb each brick as I go. But because there's no fascia and soffit to keep that brick, anything tension to it, I'll be risking it moving each course. So I think I'm going to be happier and a bit more peace of mind if I just build a big corner with 6 foot level and then just run them in. I think it's a little bit easier as well because the missus can just joint the corner after I built it, and it gets me my corner building back up to speed as well, because I've been relying on profile so much on concrete bricks. I'd like to get back to just smashing some corners up quick as well. I just find it a little bit easier as well. So I'll probably do that tomorrow, and I'll just get some footage building corners and running in. So alright guys, it's been a bit of a long voiceover. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've done it in one take as well, drinking Desperado, which will go warm in my hand because I never drink it. So I'm going to have another one of these probably, and finish off the video with a time lapse, so you'll see what I get done at the end of the day. And bear in mind it's only 2.5 hours worth of laying, so it gives you a little bit of a perspective. So alright guys, thanks a lot for if you watch to the end of the voiceover section, comment clay bricks for the win or something like that in the comments. Thank you very much, and I'll see you at the end of the video with a check-in.
Jump the wick, spin it.
Hey, Menace, what you say?
Jump the wick, spin it.
Yo,
Be on the end where they whipping.
NTHN.
She wanna fuck with the squad.
La basic shit, you know.
I'm only one in the head, you're close to the one.
Jump in the whip, spin it. We on the end wave, it whipping. She can't cruise to the kid for me, show love, impossible mission. She wanna fuck with the squad, I'm hitting her belly, then man go missing. I'm only one in the head, you of course on the one, the kid it different. Jump in the whip, spin it. We on the end wave, it whipping. She can't cruise to the kid for me, show love, impossible mission. She wanna fuck with the squad, I'm hitting her belly, then man go missing. I'm only one in the head, you of course on the one, the kid it different. Met her on Thursday, throwing it back. Round of applause, she makes it clap. Man on the map like daps, the haters hate, but they know it's facts. Both think of the 2-on-2, he's feeling big Shaq, he knows good maths. They say they better than me, I'm baff, they must be talking was. Jump on the track, know what to do. Spin the ting like how spins his coupe. The ass back on fat like my gin, I might have to make my boo. Out of the balls, we marching true. The man don't step, we can't move loose. I'm verified in a booth, I'm seeing the checks, they loving the you. They laugh and they look like Potter. I still be up in my paper. My bro big time to shot. And no blackie looking like Vader. He deals to the dark and light. Fuck with the guy, he bring the lightsaber. Man run up to the beef, got my lean on, coming like Major Laser. Jump in the whip, spin it. We on the end wave, it whipping. She can't cruise to the kid for me, show love, impossible mission. She wanna fuck with the squad, I'm hitting her belly, then man go missing. I'm only one in the head, you of course on the one, the kid it different. Jump in the whip, spin it. We on the end wave, it whipping. She can't cruise to the kid for me, show love, impossible mission. She wanna fuck with the squad, I'm hitting her belly, then man go missing. I'm only one in the head, you of course on the one, the kid it different. Pretty one with a pretty face on the Jeep, but the back I'm dead like Sean. Do some squats, see your back respawn. Brown skin Jordan, love my brawn. Grinding until dawn, no sleep, no feed, it gets horrible. You don't want this, you should've withdrawn. That's been real since I was born. Willie, I'm fucking the can't go crazy, can't be lazy, putting in work. I'm in the booth, quick killing the verse, killing the beat, put a B on the shirt. Me and bro be tearing up tracks, we drip too hard like baby and dirt. Gun our bro be letting it burst, chat on the team, you're making it worse. Step in the booth like yo, what's good? I'm killing rappers on beats, man put smoke in the booth like Butch. These guys off say they savage, got no heart, contest no hood. I still got 21 holes on me, they all wanna taste no but these hoes ain't moving good. Jump in the whip, spin it. We on the end wave, it whipping. She can't cruise to the kid for me, show love, impossible mission. She wanna fuck with the squad, I'm hitting her belly, then man go missing. I'm only one in the head, you of course on the one, the kid it different. Jump in the whip, spin it. We on the end wave, it whipping. She can't cruise to the kid for me, show love.
So it's gone 3:30. I started at 1. About 300 bricks down there. It's not too bad. I got another 6 course put on that morning. We're solo today. Well, Mel came with me to induct. She helped me load out this morning. She loaded all these here, loaded that out with me. Got me going. And now I'm just going to load this out. She's waiting for me. It'll take me 15-20 minutes. Got a 3-boarder there. Nice little cheeky 3-board. But we're going to load that out. I'm going to load that out now. Got a bit of remedials patching these voussoirs. Got a couple of them to do and a few step trays on the back, but I think I'm just going to do the gables. I'm going to do the gables, and then if I've got time to the remedials, I will. I'll do the rest of it. Makes up for a bit of this fucking shit I've been dropped onto. But I'm going to load these out now, and some of those need a brush. I need a sponge off them other bricks. But they look good. They look good. So everyone talking shit about me. Concrete brickwork. Not wrong with that. It's all been brushed. That needs brushing. Needs a good sponge. So right. See you next clip. We're at home now. Well, we're back picking our lad up. Yeah, I didn't get to show you how I was going to load out our 3-board because getting a bit too dark to be on scaffold, so they wanted me off there. But I covered everything up. I'll show you tomorrow. I'm going to sort that out. Yeah, so last day on Wednesday, so I'm working on Wednesday this week. But we should get three good days in, and yeah. Alright guys, hope you enjoy this little video, and I'll see you tomorrow with some more footage.